You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
Good morning. Welcome to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Bach, Calvin Butenoff coming to you live from our home at Radio Park in Racine. You can join us. Call or text at 855-752-4842. You can also leave a comment if you're watching on the live stream. Good morning, live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and what used to be Twitter. Coming up on the show for the last half an hour. It's a segment we call Audio Sorbet.
What do we do during that, Jane?
We get away from the news.
Oh, grand.
Talk about lighter things so we can all take a breath and not crack up. It's for me. We're going to talk about the strangers you meet and how that can make a difference.
Okay, there we go. Because that sentence alone, the strangers you meet, can mean a lot of things when you don't give qualifiers.
Yeah, strangers you meet and how that can be a positive thing.
Yeah. Talk about some joy. Cindy listening, in Watervliet. Another place I've never heard of. Watervliet?
Watervliet?
Cindy, text us. I'm too lazy to look it up. Cindy, where is Watervliet located? But she says, Jane, this is Southwest Michigan. She answered it in the text.
There you go.
This is Cindy from Southwest Michigan. I love listening to you over the air on 5:40 a.m. They hear us wow, that's a strong signal. I am happy for you and your future plans. By the way, she's retiring next Friday, the 12th. But I will miss your lovely, calm voice and quick wit. Civic Media is an important resource, and you will be missed.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Cindy.
so much, Cindy. We really appreciate
that.
you.
That is so lovely of you. I appreciate that. Speaking of retirements, I want to give a shout out to Larry Mueller.
Yeah.
From Wisconsin Public Radio.
Indeed.
58 years.
My goodness.
He started on WPR in 1967. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
And I've listened to him, Garden Talk, Larry Mueller, Garden Talk on Saturdays. I love that show. Love that show.
Today we're going to talk about geraniums.
Yes, exactly. What could make you happier than that?
I don't know.
Shout out to Larry Mueller. Congratulations on an astonishing 58-year career. Puts me to shame. I feel like a punk.
You think you're retiring?
Well done, Larry Mueller. Congratulations and all good things to you. We're going to start off with this because we didn't get around to it last hour. And I think it is really important for all of us to be aware of this. And I think other folks, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
Donald Trump keeps falling asleep during cabinet meetings.
During press conferences.
During televised cabinet meetings. This happened yesterday. I encourage you, actually, we can include some footage in our show notes.
All right.
We'll include some footage in our show notes from yesterday's cabinet meeting. Now, granted, it was long. It was 2 hours long.
Yeah. It's kind of what you sign up for when you're president.
Well, there is that. CNN headline says, Trump said he was sharper than I was 25 years ago. Then he spent an hour appearing to doze off. Again. CNN, he didn't appear to doze off.
He was dozing
He was asleep.
Yep. And
he was fighting to stay awake. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, is sitting right next to him, talking to him, addressing the president, who is obviously not awake.
Yeah.
Now, we had nothing but Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe, Sleepy Joe. I tagged Jake Tapper yesterday on CNN and said, I am waiting for your big expose on Donald Trump and his health and his sharpness.
Well,
I'm waiting because Jake Tapper was all over Sleepy Joe Biden.
And that's that opens up a big conversation. I think the bigger point is when we talk about our elected officials and what they can and can't get done, the reports are coming out as well. I hate saying that because it sounds like I'm saying some people are saying, but it has been said that his daily calendar is much shorter. It's about 5-6 hours a day.
He's 79.
He's 79. I thought he was 80.
No, he's 79.
So that's in a way understandable as you get older. And him falling asleep isn't a good look, But it was the same thing that the press just absolutely jumped on Joe Biden about.
Hammered Biden.
And it brings, for me, 2 points. One, the consistent double standard from the media. As much as the right wants to talk about the mainstream media and the legacy media, well, we've seen a real softening on some reporting over the past few years because you live with a president that is litigious and full of spite and full of lawsuits. Those bosses, those stockholders don't want to make angry the man who's in the White House. The other thing, too, is the double standard, but also the fact that we need to talk about our elected officials. When is the age for them to go and retire, leave gracefully, become an elder statesman or woman of the party? And it was top flight news last year when this was happening for Joe Biden. It was a cause for concern. That debate performance was essentially what led him to leave the race. But now it's the president of the United States is falling asleep during meetings. Marco Rubio can be seen just heaping praise upon him.
Well, they all have to go around the room now and offer their compliments to dear leader before they can actually do anything. And that leads to me another question. Does your sycophancy count if the recipient doesn't hear it?
Yeah.
All that sucking up, does that even count?
He'll watch the tape later.
If he didn't hear it?
He'll watch the tape later.
It just feels like all that wasted sucking up, for nothing.
And also, as a side note, it's just the 10-year decline of Marco Rubio, the guy who I said at one point, if he was the president of the United States, this was back in 2016 during the primary, I said, if we get a Marco Rubio Republican presidency, I can live with that because he always purported himself with a little more level of balance, a little bit, in Trump in MAGA world.
True.
Yes.
True.
Yes. I the same thing. I had the same idea towards McCain presidency too. There would at least be some logic that was happening, but to see him backslide to the point of the, not just a bootlicker, but the guy who lifts the boot up so others can lick. It is embarrassing. And he was right next to the president, heaping those praises while the president was nodding off. Again, I don't want to belabor the actual point. It's what this inspires as far as conversation is what we look for in our leaders, the coverage from the press, and how when one does it, it is earth-shattering and embarrassing. When the other does it, it's kind of funny. It's the late night talk show hosts are making fun of it. This is a problem, and it's a problem for his personal health.
Without a doubt.
Where is this? I mean, I know I'm not. Where is his family? I'm trying to think like his family's normal. They're not.
He has admitted he's had 2 MRIs in the last 6 months. That's not normal.
No.
That's not.
He also won't tell you what was scanned.
Well, he says he doesn't know what was scanned. I actually believe that. But going back to Marco Rubio is our Secretary of State, correct?
Yes.
There was a meeting in the Kremlin about the Russia-Ukraine war.
I thought he stopped that war. I thought he stopped all
No,
wars.
that's still going on. Who went to that meeting in Moscow? Not our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio.
He wasn't there?
Jared Kushner was there.
Marco Rubio was not there?
Our Secretary of State was not at the negotiations about Ukraine and Russia, but Jared Kushner was there.
I mean, honestly, Jane, think about it. That makes complete
It's about business
sense.
deals.
Well, and it's not just that, but ultimately, who does he trust? He trusts his family. Marco Rubio is not his family, and he can't trust Marco Rubio to get in a room, especially if he's not there. If the president can't be in that room, he's not going to send Marco Rubio because Marco Rubio could have an independent thought that would slip out of his mouth. So he sends Jared, who will do exactly what he is told for various reasons. So honestly, I would be more surprised if only Marco Rubio would have went with maybe some staffers. No, this doesn't shock me at all. This is keep your friends close and your enemies closer, and do not trust anyone to family. Marco Rubio is not family.
But this should make everybody go, wait a minute. Our Secretary of State is not involved in these negotiations, but the president's son-in-law is. Oh, okay. By the way, Ronnie from Horicon texting in, listening on WAUK. Der Spiegel, the German newspaper, had a picture of Trump from yesterday and called him Commander in Sleep. Yeah, I've seen the Nod Father. There's so many memes now going around about this.
Jimmy Kimmel called him Rip Tan Winkle.
Rip.
But
But there is a very serious side to this. As another side note, the night before, Trump was up in the middle of the night rage tweeting for over an hour.
5 hours. 160 tweets in 5 hours.
It was loony. That's not normal.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not healthy behavior. And I want to pull it away from everything that isn't about personal and family. And this man clearly is not doing well. And I'm not saying that to be snarky. I'm saying that the same way I was saying Joe Biden should not be running for re-election. I don't think I'm glad he stepped down. He stepped down far too late. He said he was going to be a one-term president in 2020 when he was running, and that went away. And then he just made it that I'm the only one who can fix this. I'll take care of everything. He should not have run. I'm saying that so this is not just about Donald Trump. This is about the health of the person, how it affects their family, and how it affects the country.
This should concern all of us.
We're going to have to, if the next president is anybody is a non-MAGA candidate. And I'm even going to say, let's even say in a perfect world, a Republican, and Adam Kinzinger comes in and wins somehow. I don't know. I can believe.
Sure.
They're going to need 3 terms because the first 4 years is going to be undoing everything. You thought Barack Obama had a tough time after Bush. This is going to be hundreds of thousands of miles of work that they're going to have to do going all over the world. And then also rebuilding this government and this country. They're going to need 3 terms.
Yeah, we've the way we've ruined our relationships with what used to be our allies. Yeah, there's going to be a lot.
Canada doesn't trust us.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of repair work to do. 855-752-4842 if you'd like to join the conversation. Troy from Mount Horeb is on the line. Good morning, Troy. Thanks for calling in. What'd you want to say?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hey.
What is the Packers rule? 70? They shipped out Murphy. I think that's a good rule.
70, they should be out at 70?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't disagree with that, Troy. I think there should be, I'm sorry, but there is a minimum age to run. There should be a maximum age to serve.
Companies do this with CEOs.
Yeah.
They have maximum retirement ages.
Yeah.
Thank you, Troy.
Thank you very much, Troy. There should be, there are term limits, but there should be better term limits for our Congress. There should be ages that once you're 70 or what, like if it's your term where you reach 70 or whatever comes first, you're done. That's it. You don't get to hold on to and I'm looking at you, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. I'm talking to all of these.
Charles Grassley.
Oh my God. How old is he?
He's 90. He's in his 90s.
Sorry. No, you should have been looking for the torchbearer decades ago,
20 years ago.
But this is a conversation we can't have in this country for some reason, and it harms their ability to lead and listen to the young people and what they need, because a lot of these older folks are like, we've got you. We're writing a strongly worded letter about it.
We will return. I need to go take a nap quick. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo and Milwaukee. Stay close. You are listening to Matt Nair on Air. This is the Civic Media Radio Network. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Good morning. Welcome back to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Bach, Clash Calvin on the board, coming to you from our home at Radio Park in Racine. Join us at 855-752-4842. You can also leave a comment if you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and what used to be Twitter. Coming up at the very end of the show, as we always do, we'll wrap it up with This Shouldn't Be a Thing. Today it is the Rocky Raccoons Rocky Night Edition. There's a video element. There's a photo element involved.
Speak softly. He's still resting.
He's sleeping. So we'll do that for Tisbet, as we call it. This shouldn't be a thing. Coming up at the very end of the show. Hope you can stick around for that. I fell for a little hoax yesterday.
Mhm.
Calvin came to my rescue.
Yeah.
It was Bucks related. I saw this on social media, and it said Doc Rivers released from the Bucks. And I went to you, Calvin, and you clarified that was there's a term for that.
Yeah, it's very meme-ified, I guess. It's a meme term. It's not a real term.
All right.
The account that posted this is a parody account that's made to trick you into thinking it says NBA Central and it's like a accurate news reporter, but it's actually NBA Centel, and they post made up stuff.
Okay.
So when you believe something posted by NBA Centel, you got Centel.
And that's what happened with this Doc Rivers thing that was going around. It was on this bogus site.
And first of all, when you do satire like headlines, you usually you say Doc Rivers fired for caring a little too much about his coaching job. Something that puts the joke there. But just saying Doc Rivers fired, that's not that's not joke writing. That's just making up a lie. But also when you guys said you'd been Santel, I'm like, what does Jim Santel have to do with any of this right now? I didn't realize he was such a Bucks fan, but we both got fooled, but me more so because I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, but that's not true. But this
is very true.
This is true. This is from the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Giannis Antetokounmpo scrubs Milwaukee from his social media.
Oh, no.
Giannis scrubbed his social media accounts of most mentions of the Bucks in late November, primarily just leaving the images up of the won championships. The decision of what to keep up and related to the Bucks tracks with his often stated goals of wanting to continually contend for titles. So this has now raised all kinds of speculation that he's going to be leaving. He's not happy because they're not having a good season. Calvin, you have a theory about this though, right?
Yeah, well, I don't even know if it's a theory, but I have thoughts. I will say it very well could mean that he's unhappy and he wants out. I'm not saying that's not a possibility, but to say he deleted most of his Bucks posts on Instagram would be accurate. What would be more accurate is to say he deleted most of his posts on Instagram. He only has 13 posts remaining on Instagram, 2 of which feature the Bucks championships. So I'm leaning towards this was a fall social media cleanse, and it has nothing to do with his mindset about basketball.
Well, because I'm assuming there were all kinds of other posts unrelated to Bucks, right, that also got scrubbed.
Yes, he has. Of the 13 posts remaining, 2 feature. The first is the NBA Finals championship we won, and the second is when we won that kind of lame NBA Cup a few seasons ago.
Yeah, nobody cares about that.
And then 2 or 3 other posts are sponsored posts that he's assumedly contractually obligated to leave up. And then the rest are pictures with his brothers and his wife. So it could mean something. I'm leaning towards it doesn't, though.
So, Jane, when you're staining a guitar body, sometimes what you need to do is sand it down. I wasn't listening at all during that entire thing. Oh, my God. The only thing I find more boring than basketball itself is basketball talk. Holy cow. I don't understand. But it seems like we talked about this earlier. When you were not just a Wisconsin sports fan, but I think a Milwaukee sports fan, Brewers, Bucks, you live with that low-grade
fear,
stomach ache that your team is going to lose all the goodness and greatness and the big players are going to leave. So, I mean, Calvin, I have to imagine you think about Giannis leaving on a fairly regular basis and have basic reasons to back that up. I mean, 2021 was a big year, and now it's been unremarkable. It hasn't been. I mean, it's not like they're having terrible losing seasons, but I mean, I'm sure you think about what will happen when he leaves.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably maybe partially naive or just not correct. I don't know Giannis personally, but I've always got the impression, based off his statements in the media, that even when he's not happy with the state of the team, he loves the city of Milwaukee and he loves being here.
Yeah.
I think that's a feeling a lot of people have.
So-
I mean, he's made
it very clear.
Yeah, he really has.
If he forced himself out, I would be shocked, and my opinion of him would still be high, but it would definitely lessen.
I think it'd be the same. I think that we would greet him with the same unknowing regard that we do for Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. I mean, there was tumult when they left. If he breaks clean, goes on their team, we'll all understand that's what happens. But anytime he'd come back, he would be a returning king forever.
Yeah, I think so too.
And wonderfully so, because he loves this community and he's put his money and his dollars into it, his dollars and his time into it. And I think that's great. So if we lose him, we'll never lose him.
People, Milwaukee will always love
always be
us.
right here.
He'll always be ours.
Yeah.
He'll always be ours. We have news coming up next, and then on the other side, a little audio sorbet. The strangers you meet can be a good thing.
Indeed.
Stay with us. You're listening to Matt Nair on Air. This is the Civic Media Radio Network. Good morning. Welcome back to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Bach, Sweet Calby on the board, coming to you from our studio at Radio Park in Racine. You can join us, call, text, leave a voice note, 855-752-4842. You can also leave a comment if you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and what used to be Twitter. This is the portion of the show that we call Audio Sorbet, where we get away from the news and talk about lighter things so we can just relax for a little bit in the midst of all the crazy. So we wanted to talk about strangers you meet. And this is something that happened to me this morning, actually. And it makes me happy. And I came in this morning and I told you about it,
Yes,
and I
you
was
did.
all
So
excited about it.
Tell us the story.
So we moved down here to Racine about a year and a half ago. We had been broadcasting out of Waukesha, and then about a year and a half ago we moved down here to Racine, our new home.
Exactly. Love it. Radio Park.
Yeah, Radio Park. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Love this place. Love the community. It's been wonderful. So I've been going to this local restaurant in the morning to get a latte and a sausage and cheese biscuit, which I really don't need. But I go to this place called The Dish.
Yeah.
And I've been going there a couple times a week since we relocated down here. We've never exchanged names, the ladies who take my order. I know their names. It's Carol and Karen. And they're so used to me now. They know my voice. And when I pull up to the drive-thru and I say, hey, give me the me special.
Oh, you're not even walking in.
Oh, no. This is drive-thru. This is all drive-thru.
Wow.
And so last week, I went and got my order, and Carol was there. And she said, are you Jane Matt Nair from the radio? And I said, yeah. And she said, oh my gosh, I knew your voice. I knew your voice all this time.
Yeah.
And I was afraid to ask you if that's who you were. And she said, I wish I had known that. And then we had this long chat. Nobody else was behind me.
I was
in the
people in the back
drive-thru.
like, hey, I just need my coffee.
No, I'm talking to Carol. Leave me alone.
You can order inside, lady.
So we got this lovely conversation and this lovely chat and talking, just things you have in common and all of these things. And she's a pastor for a church. And she said, this is a great lesson about how people should just take 2 seconds to ask, what's your name?
Yeah.
And who are you?
Yeah.
And she said, I feel so badly that I didn't ask you this sooner. We could have had a whole friendship going this whole time. If only I had asked.
Yeah.
And she said, I'm going to use that in a sermon.
My goodness.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't mention my name, Carol. Probably burst into flames. But it made me happy.
Yeah.
It gave me a little joy. That little exchange between Carol and I.
And what do you ask people to do every day?
Find a little joy.
There you go.
And if you can, you share it.
Exactly.
If something made you laugh, tell somebody else about it. If you saw something beautiful or unique or special, just for 2 seconds, share it.
If you're feeling the need to tell someone that you love them or you're thinking about them, do it. Send them a text, give them a call. Just make it know. The amount of times that I've just reached out to someone and say, hey, how's it going? Just was thinking about you. And they've said, hey man, this meant something because I was having a week. And the fact that you're just reaching out,
out of nowhere, right?
That is, I mean, I'm not gonna old man shake fist at the cloud right now, but we are in a world now where while we are so connected, we are so apart.
And so divided.
And well, not even just the divided thing, but just so apart as far as like, there's a loneliness problem in this country. And while you might be thinking about your friend and thinking, oh man, they're really great. They're probably, I mean, it's not that they're not thinking of you, but to tell them that you are thinking about them, to tell them that you love them, to tell them you're just like, hey man, just hoping you're having a good day. And that's it. You don't have to have a 5-hour conversation.
Exactly.
But those things help people. Those things those are little healing moments they can go back to and say, oh man, that was a really good thing. And then they can do the same for somebody else. I mean, I'm going to let the people in on something. I didn't tell you this. So I'm going to do this anyways, but I'm going to tell. After you announced your retirement, it was a big concern of yours that maybe you thought, why are we doing the retirement? It's not that big of a deal. And about 24 hours later, you were pretty much shown that you were dead wrong, and that people love you and enjoy you, and they grew up with you, and you meant something and mean something to them.
But we all need that.
And that's the thing is that outpouring of love is helpful and helps you and will help you in your next steps, whatever that may be. Whether you walk onto a beach, make sure it's public, whether it's a beach,
stay off stranger sins,
or whatever your next chapter is, you'll always know that the impact you had in this industry was good and great and positive. And in these smaller, we're not all on the radio, but if you are sitting here right now and you're thinking about a loved one or a friend or someone you said, oh God, I have been meaning to text them.
Do it.
Just do it now.
Do it now.
You have nothing to lose. And on a slightly more serious note, if there's someone that you've lost connection with for some reason and it's worth the conversation, you got to do it now. You got to do it right now. And that connection between strangers, I think, is very important too, because there's such a walled up world we live in where we don't want to, it's not even so much like, I don't want to talk to people. It's like, I don't want to bother anyone.
Yeah.
I don't want to I don't want to say compliment. I'm like, hey, I like your shoes. But like, if there's a moment where you just want to share something and it feels right and you're being appropriate and respectful, I say go for it.
See, I've done that. I've complimented people on their shoes.
Well,
I have at the grocery store. It's like, ooh, snappy footwear.
And that's and that opens up a whole other conversation. Who has more of an acceptance of giving those types of things? Like if I'll tell people I like their shoes, but I'm far away. I'm like, I really enjoy your shoes, man, and I walk on.
Right.
I don't.
It's not like I'm going to corner you so we can have a long discussion
Where did you buy those?
About footwear.
Yeah,
but it's just a side comment. You look fabulous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For and without making it creepy.
Exactly.
Without taking it to the creepy level.
Exactly.
Just you look excellent today. I hope you have a wonderful day.
I see those videos all the time on social media where people are just driving or walking around giving random compliments and walking on. And the people always and what's funny is when you see people like with, hard stares on their face, they've got somewhere to go. They're walking with purpose and someone says, "Oh, your hair is amazing today." And they're like, "Oh." And
wow.
It takes them out of the moment and makes them smile and they get back to their thing. But yeah, I mean,
and those little things stick with you though.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They do.
Yes, because you're going to remember that random act of just niceness. Again, exercise caution, exercise total and complete respect, boundaries, personal space.
Very important.
But yeah, I mean, those are the things you're going to be thinking about this interaction for a long time. It's going to mean something. And the fact that she would solidified in a sermon to her congregation.
I said, this is why you're a pastor, because you find lessons everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
John from Milwaukee texting in, it's pretty crazy to see how much people like you more when you do just the simple things.
Mm-hmm.
Simple conversation. At first, it might seem like it's forced, but it's necessary for good interactions.
I completely agree. It's something I struggle with. I struggle with personal interaction. Believe it or not, I'm incredibly introverted in public.
You're shy.
I'm very shy. And part of me is like, I'll keep it that way because people are going through enough in the world. They don't need my words, but it's hard for me to put myself out there. So like I can do it better if Bridget's next to me because it's... For some reason, more
Safety
people.
in numbers.
Exactly. But it's when I do pay that random act of niceness, a compliment, and there's a good reaction, which there almost always is. the worst reaction is like, oh, thank you. And you're like, oh, okay.
Right. But I've never complimented someone and they went, you're a terrible person.
Yeah, exactly. How dare you like my shoes?
What do you mean I have fabulous shoes?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing. And hey, that doesn't mean just because you're retiring that there can't be a friendship there, or even as much as going there. Maybe you go there once a week just to grab some lunch to say hi. I mean, I don't know, but this isn't the end of anything. The fact that she said something is the absolute beginning of something.
Okay, we're going to exchange emails.
You're going to be best friends.
Well, I'm serious. We're going to exchange emails, and it just has led to this whole wonderful thing.
You know what else is wonderful, Jane? This thing here we were talking about earlier, this little shadow. This is where we were talking about watching the live stream right now.
There's a visual aid this morning.
I wish it's going to be kind of difficult to see, and maybe we'll take a picture and put it on the social media. But Jane, what do I have in my hand right now?
You have a little shadow box.
Yes.
And and I mentioned this last week. We were talking about cartoons and newspaper cartoons.
Yeah.
And there was a one-panel cartoonist called Gindin, who I loved.
Yeah.
And he had a one-panel cartoon many years ago. It has to be from the 80s because I've had that since I started in radio. And there's a mother comforting her son.
1984.
84, yeah. He's obviously very distressed. Her little boy is very distressed, and mom is there comforting him. And she says, "That's okay, honey. I remember how disappointed I was when I saw my first disc jockey." And I have a photo of my very first job, of me at my very first job on the turntables, looking very, very thrilled.
Let's just, you look.
I will say.
That is a patented Jane Matenaer look of just get to the point.
Don't bother me. What do you want?
Right up here in the upper my left corner right here, reel to reel. Oh my goodness, folks.
The early days of radio. But yeah, I saw that cartoon, and to me, that was my mother's voice telling me don't let it go to your head. Lest you think you're more important than you are.
Do me a favor, Jane. Stop listening to your mother's words. Let it go to your head sometimes.
No, she
Let
was
it
right.
sometimes
No,
go to your
she
head.
was right.
You get to live in that world for even a moment. That's good. You've earned it. We've all earned it for a moment to feel good. But yeah, that's I'm going to try to get in there. There's Jane Matenaer with that. See, you talked about there's
that's
no
pre-perm.
That's
pre-perm.
That's definitely like, oh man, she watched a lot of Joan Jett concert videos.
Hopefully by next week we'll have another photo of my early years in radio with a perm that takes up pretty much the entire screen.
It actually had its own appearance contract.
Yeah,
it had its own manager and
yes,
publicist.
Exactly.
Still gets residuals on those commercials, by the way, I must say. That perm made a living off of it.
Seriously. Roger from Stevens Point texting in, when my daughters were in high school, I saw a young man struggling with tying his tie, so I volunteered.
There you go.
That's huge.
Yep.
Roger, that guy is mentioning you to this day.
That guy is helping someone else out because of that.
Because of you.
You are, and I think that's the other thing too, when we mentioned, is the fact that when you do those things, you can empower others to spread kindness, to spread help. You know, you got a snowblower. Maybe you need to snowblow your neighbor's driveway
just
because
go down
they
the
can't.
Sidewalk.
Just go down the sidewalk, help out. Those little things, small conversation. You're not looking for big recognition, although someone's going to be part of a sermon now. But I just think that that is the point of what you say every day is find some joy and share it.
And share it.
And there nothing bad will come of that. And if anything, and I hate saying we live in a divided world. I'm always saying that. But those are the things that can make people go, oh, okay, that's something we agree upon.
Little connective tissues.
We all love the Packers. We all love the Brewers. We all want to be nice. We all want to do these things. And I think that can help in small. I mean, none of us are billionaires. None of us are millionaires. I'm not an elected official, but the things that I can control, that's why I choose to do good with those things. So at the very least, people have a neutral experience with me and I'm not annoying them because good Lord, that's what I think about every day. How did I annoy people today? They might be thinking that right now, Jane.
Find a little joy.
Yep.
And share it.
Yes.
If you are able. When we return, we're going to wrap up the show with This Shouldn't Be a Thing. Today it is the Rocky Raccoons Rocky Night Edition. It's a good one. Stay close. You are listening to Matenaer on Air. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
Good morning. morning. Welcome back to Matt Nair on Air. Jane Matt Nair, Greg Bach. Dr. Slide on the board, coming to you from our studio at Radio Park in Racine. You can join us at 855-752-4842 and leave a comment if you're watching on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and what used to be Twitter. Coming up tomorrow, friend, colleague, host of Amicus, a law review on Saturdays across the network, Jim Santel, is going to be here after 9:30. Lots to talk about, including this Pete Hegseth blowing boats out of the water, blowing survivors of boat blowing out of the water, the legalities of that or not.
The question I want to ask him, if I have the opportunity to, is why in the past week have we all of a sudden started caring this much where they're talking about him stepping down? They have been doing this for a while now.
Blowing these boats up?
Yeah, so that's the question I would like to ask. But yeah, there are always things. And also not to mention the fact that a judgment came down recently saying that lawyers by the Trump administration were unethically, illegally appointed. They shouldn't have gotten their jobs. Weren't qualified,
yeah, whoopsie.
So, yeah, we'll be talking to Jim about that, and it's going to be a great discussion with him.
As it always is. It really is. You should check out his show on Saturdays. If you can't watch on Saturdays or join on Saturdays, you can always listen to it as a podcast.
Absolutely.
Find all the shows and lots of previous episodes and everything on our website at civicmedia.us. Also joining us tomorrow for Audio Sorbet is another colleague here at Civic Media, Aaron Carreno.
Yes, you and Aaron go way back, and this is the beginning of celebrating Jane in the weeks of her impending retirement.
I retire a week from Friday. December 12th, going to be my final show. Also, your birthday.
Okay, all right.
Don't think I've forgotten that. Haven't forgotten about that, Greg.
I also just want to mention really quick, even though it's Wednesday, we're still giving here with Giving Tuesday. Yesterday was Giving Tuesday, and you can still find out more about how we as Civic Media are getting involved. Each individual station has partners. WAUK, if you're listening to us right now in WAUK, we have the Wisconsin Humane Society and Milwaukee Community Crossroads. You can find out by going to civicmedia.us/WAUK/give. But go to the website, find out more. Giving Tuesday doesn't stop when the day is over.
No, it doesn't. And you can also go directly to WAUKradio.com.
Correct, yes.
And that will have, I believe it's one of the first things you're going to see, and one of the banners will come up if you want to make a donation. You can also donate your time.
Exactly.
They're always looking for that as well.
Yep.
Calvin, it is 10:55. It is getting late. That means it's time for...
This shouldn't be a thing.
If you ever have a thing you think should not be, send it in to Greg and me at Jane Says at civicmedia.us. JANESAYS, Jane Says at civicmedia.us. This from ABC News. Mason Leith has the byline, the headline.
Wait, ABC News?
ABC News.
Oh, boy.
Drunk raccoon found passed out in liquor store bathroom. The raccoon was released back into the wild after sobering up.
We got ourselves a raccoon drunk tank back there. Put him in there and let him learn his life. He's going to hurt.
Sleep it off.
He's gonna hurt tomorrow. So just make sure you talk quietly in front of the raccoon.
Do you give a raccoon a hair of the dog?
You give a raccoon a hair of the squirrel.
That's what you give.
I don't know what that means, but it's just what you do.
It's what you do. One Virginia liquor store had an unusual patron over the weekend. An inebriated raccoon found passed out in the bathroom.
Here's a picture.
There is a picture of this poor little raccoon splooted right next to the toilet, face down.
Hold my fur!
Hanover County Animal Protection Shelter says authorities found the raccoon collapsed in the bathroom of the Ashland ABC store Saturday morning after the furry burglar drank multiple types of alcohol.
How?
The gin and the whiskeys were
opposable
all
thumbs.
on the lowest shelf.
Yeah.
Officials say when they found him, they took the, quote, very intoxicated raccoon back to the shelter to sober up before releasing him back into the wild. After a few hours of sleep and zero signs of injury, other than possibly a hangover and poor life choices.
And questionable text messages. Oh, my God. We've all been there.
Drunk texting,
man.
don't do it.
Oh, God.
After sobering up, he was released
Still love you, Linda.
safely back to the wild, hopefully having learned Breaking and entering is never the answer.
No, man, I'll just buy you some alcohol if you want. I mean, I don't know if he's of age. I mean, that's the other question. I'm not going to buy an underage raccoon.
It doesn't say how the raccoon got in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not quite sure what the break-in involved. Maybe somebody just left the door open at some point.
Someone's getting fired.
Oh, big time.
Oh, man.
But if you would like to see photo evidence of this poor little raccoon right next to the toilet,
Mm-hmm.
you wonder if he's done this before.
Well, I mean, like when they were taking it back to the drunk tank, it was like, I love you, man. You're so good. You do understand. I heard a lady today say, find some joy and spread it. That's what I'm doing right now. You're great. You are so amazing.
That wraps up today's episode of
This Shouldn't Be a Thing.
Thank you, Greg and Calvin, and all of our engineers and everyone at Civic Media, because without you, nothing works. And thank you most of all for calling and texting and watching on the stream and for listening. It genuinely means the world. I hope you find some joy today, even if it's just the tiniest little bit, and you get to share it. Keep it here. We have news coming up next. Tom Hartman with your next keyword for the multi-state text to win adult gift list contest. That's all coming up. Stay here on the Civic Media Radio Network. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.